In many ways, that's the world we already live in. Over 90% of communication is nonverbal, and while people can control their words, their body often betrays their true intentions. This is why elite interrogators, top negotiators, and skilled leaders rely on body language more than spoken words when making critical decisions. One of the first principles of Stoicism is to see things as they truly are, without illusion or bias. And the same applies to reading body language. To truly understand people, you must train yourself to observe without assumption, watching their patterns, their shifts, and their unconscious behaviors without immediately jumping to conclusions. Take eye contact, for example. We've been told that if someone avoids eye contact, they're lying. But that's not always true. Some of the most skilled deceivers will maintain steady eye contact to make you trust them. Instead, look for inconsistencies. Does their body match their words? Do they nod while disagreeing or shake their head while saying yes? A contradiction between verbal and nonverbal cues is often a sign that something isn't right. Then, there's the power of the hands. In high-stakes conversations, whether it's a business deal, a job interview, or a first date, watch for fidgeting, rubbing the neck, or suddenly touching the face. These are often subconscious pacifying behaviors that reveal inner discomfort. On the other hand, open palm gestures signal honesty and confidence, a technique even great leaders and public speakers use intentionally. And here's a practical Stoic exercise. Observe without reacting. The next time you're in a conversation, stay silent for a moment longer than usual and simply watch. Pay attention to posture shifts, facial tension, and hand movements. Most people reveal their true emotions in moments of silence, because when words stop, the body speaks the loudest. Master this skill, and you'll navigate life with greater awareness, clarity, and control. 2. The power of nonverbal influence. How to read and control the subconscious signals you send. If you could walk into any room and immediately command respect, trust, and influence, without saying a single word, what would that do for your life? Whether it's in business, relationships, or personal interactions, your body speaks before your mouth does. The way you stand, the way you move, and even where you position yourself in a room all create an unspoken language that determines how people perceive you. The key is not just reading body language, but mastering your own so you project strength, confidence, and control in any situation. Let's start with a simple but overlooked truth. Your posture controls your mind just as much as your mind controls your posture. Stoicism teaches that we must be the master of ourselves, not slaves to impulse or insecurity. This applies to body language in a profound way. Science has proven that when you shift your physical stance, you shift your emotional state. If you stand tall with your chest open and shoulders relaxed, your body sends signals to your brain that you are confident and in control. Compare that to slouching, crossing your arms, or fidgeting, which sends signals of self-doubt, insecurity, and discomfort, not just to others, but to yourself. The secret of the Superman versus Clark Kent effect. Think about Superman and Clark Kent. They are the same person, but their body language changes everything. Clark Kent hunches over, keeps his head down, fumbles with his glasses, and shrinks himself. In contrast, Superman stands tall, makes direct eye contact, and commands attention without effort. The difference? It's not just the cape. It's the posture, the presence, the way he holds himself. Your body sends messages before you even speak. And just like Superman, You can train yourself to take up space, project authority, and exude presence, even if you don't feel confident at first. The Stoics believed that action leads to transformation. If you want to become more confident, act as a confident person would. Your mind will catch up. If you want to appear powerful in a meeting, don't sit hunched over your notes. Sit upright, plant your feet firmly, and keep your hands visible. If you want to seem more trustworthy in a conversation, keep your hands open and avoid touching your face. If you want to gain instant respect in a negotiation, avoid unnecessary movement, blinking too much, or shifting weight from foot to foot. Stay still, stay composed. Why belly buttons matter more than eye contact. We've all heard that eye contact is the key to confidence and honesty. But experts who have trained the FBI, CIA, and elite negotiators know that eye contact can be misleading. A liar can hold steady eye contact to appear believable, while a nervous but truthful person might glance away simply because they feel uncomfortable. Instead, focus on where a person's belly button is pointing. It sounds strange, but the belly button is the true indicator of attention and intent. If someone's belly button is facing you, they are engaged and interested. If they turn slightly to the side or shift away, even while their head remains facing you, it's a subconscious sign of disengagement, discomfort, or even deception. This is especially useful in dating and high-stakes conversations. If you're on a first date and your date's belly button is angled away from you, even slightly, they might not be as interested as their words suggest. In contrast, if they naturally align their body fully toward you, they are engaged and genuinely present. How to command a room without saying a word. Think about how you enter a room. Most people walk in without much thought, scan the area for an open seat, and take whatever is available. But true confidence starts before you even sit down. Here's how to project quiet dominance the moment you walk into any space. Pause at the entrance. When you walk into a room, don't rush. Take a moment, stand tall, and scan the space. This signals presence and control. Walk with deliberate steps. Avoid shuffling, hesitating, or looking down. Move as if you own the space, even if you don't feel that way inside. Position yourself strategically. If you're in a meeting, don't sit at the farthest edge of the table. If you're at a social event, don't hover near the wall. Take a central position where you are naturally noticed. Keep your hands visible. Hiding your hands signals nervousness or deception. Rest them naturally on the table or in a relaxed, open position. These small, unconscious actions set the stage for how others will perceive you. If you enter a space with presence, people will listen when you speak. If you appear hesitant or withdrawn, people will subconsciously devalue your words before you even say them. The one question that reveals everything. There is one question that elite interrogators, top negotiators, and even high-stakes interviewers use to uncover the truth, gain insight, and expose deception. It works in business, relationships, and even casual conversations. The question is simple. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Why is this question so powerful? Because when people are lying, they often rehearse a short, controlled version of their story. But when you ask them if there's anything else they'd like to add, they feel pressure to keep talking, and that's when the truth starts to slip out. In an interview, if someone is withholding key information, they will often hesitate before answering this question, shift their body, or change their tone slightly. If you're negotiating a deal and ask this question, you may catch the other party revealing something they didn't intend to say. And in personal relationships, This question can encourage people to open up more than they originally planned. If you combine this technique with everything else, reading body language, controlling your own presence, and staying silent long enough to observe, you will have an unfair advantage in communication, persuasion, and influence. 3. The hidden cues that reveal a person's true intentions. Most people believe that words are the key to understanding others, but the truth is that body language, tone, and micro-expressions tell us far more than spoken words ever could. In fact, studies show that over 90% of communication is nonverbal. If you know how to read these subconscious signals, you gain a distinct advantage in life, whether in business, relationships, or any social setting. The Stoics understood that mastering yourself is the key to mastering the world around you. If you can control your own body language and emotions while detecting the true feelings of others, you become untouchable. You will never be fooled by deception, never be manipulated by false charm, and never be swayed by someone's words when their actions tell a different story. In this section, we'll break down the subtle but powerful cues that reveal when someone is lying, how to detect hidden confidence or insecurity, and what to watch for in negotiations, dating, and leadership situations. The truth behind shoulder shrugs and hand gestures. One of the easiest ways to spot deception or uncertainty is through shoulder movement. A full, deliberate shoulder shrug, both shoulders raised equally and lowered smoothly, usually indicates honesty. However, a half shrug, where only one shoulder lifts slightly or the shrug is incomplete, is a sign of doubt or dishonesty. For example, imagine asking someone, "Did you complete the report?" If they respond with "Yeah, of course," but give a slight, uneven shoulder shrug, their body is betraying their words. It's a subconscious admission that they are unsure or not telling the full truth. Another key cue is hand positioning. Hands are one of the most honest parts of the body because we use them instinctively. If someone speaks with open palms facing upward, they are likely being truthful and open. If their palms are down or they frequently tuck their hands out of view in pockets, under the table, behind their back, they may be hiding something, either information or insecurity. In high-stakes situations, control your own hand movements. Keep them visible, use deliberate gestures, and avoid fidgeting. A leader who speaks with purposeful hand movements commands more respect than someone who constantly adjusts their clothing or taps their fingers anxiously. The eyes can lie, but the feet never do. Many people believe that liars avoid eye contact, but the truth is that skilled liars know this myth and use it to their advantage. That's why trained interrogators don't focus on eye movements alone. Instead, they watch a person's feet. When someone is truly comfortable, their feet will be relaxed and naturally positioned toward the person they are engaging with. However, if they feel uneasy, deceptive, or want to leave, their feet will start pointing toward the nearest exit. This is an incredibly useful tool in social and business situations. In a negotiation, if someone's feet shift away mid-conversation, they might be losing interest or looking for a way out. On a date, if a person's feet stay pointed toward you the entire time, they are fully engaged. If they start turning slightly away, they might not be as interested as their words suggest. In a meeting, if a team member subtly repositions their feet toward the door while someone is speaking, they are mentally disengaging, even if they are nodding along. The takeaway: pay less attention to the face and more to the lower body. The feet will always tell the truth, even when the mouth does not. Confidence versus insecurity. The tells that expose a person's true mindset. True confidence is quiet, composed, and deliberate. Insecurity, on the other hand, often hides behind overcompensation, excessive talking, or nervous gestures. Here are a few ways to differentiate real confidence from fake bravado. Breathing patterns. Confident people breathe deeply and evenly, while anxious or insecure people take shallow breaths, often leading to visible chest movement or rapid speech. Blinking rate. When someone is calm, their blinking is slow and natural. An increased blinking rate can indicate stress, nervousness, or deception. Gestural delay. When people speak with confidence, their words and gestures are synchronized. But when someone gestures before or after they speak, it can be a sign that they are fabricating their response rather than speaking naturally. If you want to project confidence even in uncertain situations, practice stillness. Avoid unnecessary movements, control your breathing, and synchronize your speech with your gestures. This not only makes you appear more in control but also trains your own mind to feel more powerful. The power of the behavioral fingerprint. Every person has a unique behavioral fingerprint, a set of habitual movements, expressions, and gestures they use when telling the truth. When you understand someone's baseline behavior, you can instantly detect when something changes. For example, if someone normally speaks with hand gestures but suddenly keeps their hands still when answering a question, that shift might indicate discomfort or deception. Likewise, if a person who usually maintains strong posture suddenly starts fidgeting, something is off. To read people more accurately, observe them in a neutral conversation, first talking about the weather, sports, or something casual. Take note of the normal behavior. What is their resting facial expression? How do they normally use their hands? When the conversation shifts to a more serious or high-stakes topic, watch for changes. If they suddenly blink more, shift in their seat, or adjust their clothing, these are signs of internal discomfort. Mastering this skill allows you to spot deception, gauge real emotions, and anticipate people's reactions before they even speak. The million-dollar question that reveals the truth. One of the most powerful tools you can use, whether in an interview, a negotiation, or even a personal conversation, is strategic silence. When most people sense awkwardness, they rush to fill the gap with words. But professionals who interrogate high-level criminals, negotiate billion-dollar deals, and lead top organizations understand that silence is a weapon. Here's how to use it. When someone gives you an answer that feels incomplete, pause. Instead of immediately responding, stay silent and maintain eye contact. Most people will feel compelled to keep talking, often revealing additional information they didn't intend to share. Use the question, "Why do you say that?" This is an open-ended, non-threatening way to encourage someone to elaborate, often exposing their true thoughts. If someone hesitates before answering, pay attention to what they do with their hands, feet, and posture. Their words may be calculated, but their body movements will reveal their real emotions. The Stoics believed that power comes from self-control and mastery over one's emotions. When you train yourself to resist the urge to fill silence, to stay composed under pressure, and to read others with precision, you become an unstoppable force in any social or professional situation. 4. The subconscious signals that influence power and persuasion. Body language is a silent yet powerful force that dictates how people perceive and respond to you. Whether in a boardroom, on a first date, or addressing a crowd, the way you carry yourself speaks before you even open your mouth. Politicians, world leaders, and master negotiators all understand this, and so do the Stoics. True power is not about force or volume, it's about presence, control, and precision. The way you sit, stand, move, and gesture can determine whether people trust you, respect you, or dismiss you. The political power stance. What leaders do differently. Look at the way politicians position themselves during debates or public addresses. The most persuasive ones have mastered body control. They stand firmly with their feet shoulder width apart, not too rigid, not too relaxed. This stance signals balance and confidence. Their hands are visible, palms subtly open when speaking, showing honesty, while hands steepled together, fingertips touching, conveys authority. They never slouch or shrink their presence, because a small posture equals small influence. Contrast that with leaders who lose control of their body language, shifting eyes, restless hands, or crossing their arms defensively. These micro-movements signal uncertainty, making their words less impactful. When you enter a room, whether it's a meeting, a date, or a negotiation, adopt the politician's power stance. Controlled, steady, and purposeful. People will sense your authority before you even speak. The bees and flies story. The energy you project is the response you get. Imagine you're in a room with a fly and a bee. The fly is erratic, buzzing frantically, bumping into walls, constantly shifting direction. It's annoying, unpredictable, and exhausting to watch. The bee moves with focus, calmly assessing its surroundings, floating with intent, and landing with precision. It doesn't waste energy. People, like insects, respond to the energy you project. If you're restless, fidgety, and constantly moving without purpose, others will subconsciously see you as untrustworthy or chaotic. If you move with purpose, hold stillness when needed, and control your gestures, you will command the room effortlessly. Great negotiators, salespeople, and influencers all operate like the bee. They don't waste movement. They know when to pause, when to lean in slightly for emphasis, and when to use silence as a tool. Be intentional with your movements, and people will naturally be drawn to your presence. The power of eye contact. How politicians and CEOs use it to influence. Eye contact is one of the most critical tools of persuasion, yet most people either overuse or underuse it. Too little eye contact makes you seem weak, untrustworthy, or nervous. Too much eye contact feels aggressive, confrontational, or unnatural. Strategic eye contact creates connection, dominance, and influence. Watch world leaders giving speeches. They don't just stare at one person or dart their eyes around the room aimlessly. Instead, they lock eyes for a few seconds, then shift with intention. Use this three-step method to control a room with your gaze. The entry scan. When entering a space, scan the room slowly, deliberately. This makes people aware of your presence and creates an instant impression of confidence. The lock and hold. When speaking to someone, hold eye contact for 3 to 5 seconds, then break naturally. This establishes authority without being overbearing. The thoughtful shift. When listening, nod subtly and shift your gaze occasionally, showing engagement without looking passive. If you want people to take you seriously, your eyes need to stay calm, steady, and aware. The Stoics believed in mastering emotions, and the eyes are the first place emotions betray you. Keep them focused, and you control the room. The secret hand gesture that can make or break your influence. Did you know there are certain hand gestures that instantly increase or decrease your credibility? Steepling your fingers, pressing fingertips together, is a classic move used by lawyers, CEOs, and politicians when making a strong point. It signals expertise and confidence. Palms up while speaking makes you seem open, honest, and persuasive. Pointing too much or clenching fists comes across as hostile or aggressive. A surprising fact: never shrug your shoulders if you want to be convincing. Shrugging signals uncertainty or lack of confidence. Even if your words are powerful, that one small movement weakens your entire message. When you're delivering an idea or debating, keep your gestures controlled and intentional. People might not consciously notice, but their subconscious will. The Stoic lesson: true power lies in control. Mastering body language isn't about manipulation, it's about awareness. The Stoics believed that self-control is the highest form of power. Control your posture, and you control how people perceive you. Control your energy, and you control how people respond to you. Control your gestures, and you control the impact of your words. Every interaction is an opportunity to either gain influence or lose it. If you want to win respect, trust, and authority, it starts with how you carry yourself, before you even speak a word. Conclusion: understanding body language is not just about reading others, it's about mastering yourself. Every movement, every gesture, and every subtle shift in posture either reinforces your presence or weakens it. The world's top negotiators, politicians, and power players don't just speak with confidence, they move with confidence. The final takeaways: your presence speaks before you do. Whether in a meeting, a negotiation, or a date, your body sets the tone. Control it, and you control the interaction. Energy attracts or repels. Move with purpose, like the bee, not chaotically, like the fly. The way you carry yourself determines how others respond to you. Eye contact, hand gestures, and posture are silent power moves. Master them, and you'll project authority without forcing it. Stoic self-mastery is key. True power comes from control over your emotions, reactions, and subconscious signals. Those who can remain composed, still, and intentional will always command respect. Every moment, you are sending signals. Are they working for you or against you? If you want people to listen, respect, and respond to you, start by mastering your nonverbal presence. Now, take this knowledge and apply it. Next time you walk into a room, be aware of your stance, your gestures, and your energy. Notice how people react differently when you move with control and precision. If you found value in this video, like, comment, and share it. Let me know what part stood out to you the most. And if you want more insights on mastering influence, self-discipline, and personal power, subscribe to Beyond Vision Mindset and turn on notifications so you don't miss future content. Stay sharp, stay in control, and as always, keep mastering your mind.